Good morning, dear students. Now let us look at the question bank for the module 1 of the subject Introduction to C++. So here I have mentioned the subject code which is 105D if it is in the first semester and 205D if it is in second sem. And the textbook which you can refer for finding the answers for these questions is Programming with ANSYS C++ by the author Bhushan Trivedi, the 2012 edition. Now let us look at the questions. So these are the most important questions you can refer in terms of preparation of internals as well as external exams for the second semester of VTU. So the first question is explain the limitations of C. So this can be asked for 5 marks or even up to 8 marks, wherein you can elaborate what are the restrictions or the limitations what we have in C programming that gave a provision for making an enhancement to C, that is C++. The second question is explain the structure of C++ program with a syntax and example. This is the most repeatedly asked question wherein you have to explain the structure of a simple C++ program and what is the syntax followed and give an programming example, and this will be for 10 marks. The third question is what is C++? List the features and applications or benefits of C++. This is also asked for 10 marks. So you have to tell here what exactly the C++ language is and what are the features of it which makes it different from C, and where are the applications of C++. So this is also asked for 10 marks. Next question is define the following terms with example. So you have to explain what are objects, classes, methods, concept of abstraction and encapsulation, and give one example for each one of them, or you can give a programming example which covers all these concepts. So this is also a most repeatedly asked question for 10 marks. Next is explain difference between object based and object oriented programming. This is in terms of inheritance, wherein the object based question we don't use the concept of inheritance. It is only we look for the classes and objects, and further in the object oriented programming we utilize the concept of inheritance. So you have to give a clear difference between both for 5 marks. The next question is explain the importance of polymorphism in C++. So this is also a most repeatedly asked question. So this can be asked for 5 marks or 10 marks. So you have to take a programming example and explain the concept of polymorphism in relation with that program. First, briefly, you can just tell what exactly is polymorphism in C++, and later for explanation you can use a programming example. Next question is write a C++ program to display the following. So the output should look similar to this. So you have to write a C++ program for this. The next question what we have is explain message passing with an example. This is also a repeatedly asked question. So with an example you have to explain what is message passing. Next important question is what are abstract classes? Discuss with an example. So you have to explain the concept of abstract classes in C++ giving an example. And then we have a programming question, that is write a C++ program to find sum of n natural numbers. So this is also present in the lab component of this subject. So you have to write a program for this. Then define inheritance and explain advantages of deploying inheritance. So you have to explain here clearly what is inheritance and given programming example for that, and tell what are the advantages of using the inheritance. So this is also a most repeatedly asked question. Next, write a C++ program to sort the elements in ascending and descending order. This program is also a lag component, so you can write a program for sorting the elements in ascending and descending order. So these are the most repeatedly asked questions from the previous year question papers. So you can refer to these questions in terms of preparing for your internals as well as externals exam. And for next module questions, you can check in the next upcoming video. Thank you.